Greetings, friendly faces. How are you? Hope you're doing great. I'm doing swell. For today's video, I have planned a nice little makeup routine slash Q&A. I'm gonna go ahead and get started by moisturizing my face with some Tatcha water cream and then some Professional primer by Benefit. So basically, I'm a new channel on YouTube, right? Currently, I only have 27 subs. That's not a lot. Also, just heads up, I'm gonna be looking this way a lot because that's where my mirror is. So I haven't done a Q&A video yet. I feel like, I was gonna wait till I had more subscribers, but I can do multiple Q&A videos, right? So I'm so dumb. I need to pull my hair back. Okay. The headband's not on properly, but you know what? It's doing the job, so it's fine. Basically, on my Snapchat, I posted a YOLO, and if you don't know what YOLO is, it's basically like an anonymous messaging app. So I used YOLO, asked my Snapchat followers to ask me questions, basically, that I could use for a Q&A video. The first time I asked, however, I didn't get the responses I wanted. Yeah. So I asked again, and the second time I got good responses. So we're going to be answering most of those today. I'm not really going to be talking much about the products and the techniques I'm using with regards to makeup because I actually plan on doing a kind of like a makeup tutorial. I mean, it'll be coming in the future, so just, subscribe and hit the bell if you want to know when it comes out because I honestly don't know myself. I'm sorry if I'm leaning forward a lot as well. It's just because the place where I put my phone is just not the best, so I have to lean forward a lot and look at my skin. My skin's actually so bad, but that's fine. That's what makeup's for, right? I'm gonna be focusing more on the questions today and less on the makeup process. I mean, I'll tell you the products I'm using, but I'm not gonna narrate every single step, you know what I mean? Okay, so right before I start foundation, I'm gonna pull up my first question. The first question that I will be answering is, what is your favorite book? So here's the deal. I haven't read, oh, hello? I forgot to shake it up. That's embarrassing. Oh yeah, before I actually get started, I'm using a Clinique foundation. Anyway, I haven't read for leisure in like years. Actual years. So I don't really have a favorite book per se, but there are some books that we've read for school that I actually have enjoyed reading. One of them being Dante's Inferno. I probably look so strange right now. Another book that I really liked that we read for school, oh gosh, 5 years ago? I don't know. It was middle school. It was one of those summer reading books that you could choose from, like a list of whatever. And I chose this book, and it's called The Time Machine. It's one of those literary classics. I don't really remember the plot of it, but it's really interesting, and I really like the book. Now, I guess books that I've read for leisure. I like the Divergent series, except halfway through the third book, I just stopped reading it because I didn't find it interesting. I found it confusing, and I just gave up. So the first and second book were great. Third one, I just lost interest. That was my fault, not the book's fault. And then another book that I just like, Phantom of the Opera. I mean, obviously people know it as the musical, but it's actually based off of the book. A couple years ago, I was like, I love the musical so much. I figured I should read the book, right? Because that only makes sense. So I think I got like a third of the way through, and then I just gave up. It wasn't because it was not interesting. It's actually, I need to pick it up and read it again because I actually really enjoyed it. And with that, I look super pale and disgusting, but we're gonna move on to concealer. And I'm using a Bobbi Brown concealer. So while I'm applying concealer, I'll answer another question. I think the next one was, how many books of the Bible have you read? Interesting question. So I haven't read an entire book of the Bible, I will say. I've read bits and pieces of books, but I've never read a book in its entirety. And I used to do that thing, before going to bed every night, I would just close my eyes, flip open a page, and just go doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Boom. And then read the verse, and that would be my verse of the day or whatever. But I never really got much of anything out of that, so I think I just quit. But don't get me wrong, I probably should be reading more of the Bible because, it is the foundation of my faith. I just haven't, but I need to. I don't know if that was supposed to be a serious question or not, but I answered it like it was, so. What was my next question? Oh, my favorite makeup. I don't know if this person meant favorite makeup brand or product, but for each step of my makeup process, I have, a favorite brand that I like to use. For example, I'm using Bobbi Brown concealer. That's my concealer of choice. My favorite makeup brands, I'll answer that first. My favorite makeup brands are ColourPop, Morphe, and Anastasia Beverly Hills. I love all of their eyeshadows. Their eyeshadows are pretty great quality. I've never used an Anastasia Beverly Hills product, but their palettes are so gorgeous and I love them. This is ColourPop no filter concealer. Sometimes I like to put this one under my eyes because it's a little bit brighter. I guess my favorite makeup product is probably eyeshadow, just because, because of the obvious. It's colorful, you know, you can do so many different things with it. So yeah, probably eyeshadow. I like blush too, partly because my favorite color is light pink, because, you know, blush is usually a pinkish color. Usually after applying concealer under my eyes, I like to put just a little bit of setting powder because I don't want it to crease. So now I'm actually going to bake my face. Choop, choop. Okay, great. So now I look weird. Now the next question, I had to do some research because someone asked me what my Enneagram is. I've never heard of that before in my life. I have no idea what it is, and even after looking it up, I still don't quite understand what it is. But anyway, I took a nice little test, and it said that my primary type is 4, like the number 4. And it says that 4s are defined by their belief that they are different from other people and by their feelings of envy for what others have. 4s have the sense that something is missing from their lives, and they worry that they will never have the happiness that other people experience. At their core, 4s feel they are fundamentally flawed and will never be able to be truly understood by other people. At the same time, they passionately long for the deep connection that will make them feel whole and accepted. Many 4s romanticize and idealize their relationships, hoping that each new connection will be the one that finally makes them feel understood and appreciated. I don't really know if I identify with that, but that's what I got. So if anyone wants to explain to me what an Enneagram is, feel free, because I have no clue. Next question is my Starbucks and my Dunkin order. I actually like Dunkin a lot more than Starbucks. Maybe not a lot more. I prefer Dunkin's straight coffee to Starbucks's coffee. Don't get me wrong, Starbucks's coffee is pretty dang good, but compared to Dunkin, it's a little bit more expensive. I don't know. Starbucks coffee tastes bitter to me. And my coffee order for both would be just straight black coffee, iced coffee, straight black iced coffee. Sometimes if I'm feeling spicy, I'll add some almond milk. But if I'm being honest with you, I normally just take my coffee straight black. Okay. I don't know what to do for my eyeshadow. Let's see what we got though. What do we have here? This one that I opened earlier, I don't know if you saw it or not. I don't know if I filmed myself opening it. Anyway, it's one that I like customized from Morphe. I just picked out random colors and put them in here. Colors that I would use that I didn't already have. I can answer a question while I'm doing my eyeshadow. Okay, this is a multi-parted question. Like, what do you want to major in? Or what career do you want to have? And then the other one's like, what colleges are you looking at? So college-wise, just a little disclaimer, I'm a senior in high school, woo woo woo. But with that, you have to start looking at colleges. I really only have one college in mind that I want to go to, and that's Wofford College in South Carolina. I don't know what there is about it. The minute I walked on their campus, I just had this gut feeling that that's where I need to be. So that's really the only college I'm actually looking at. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, you need backups. And in my head, I'm like, I don't really know if I do. But I also plan on applying to Harvard. And I know you're like, Harvard? In middle school, I was actually like kind of bullied for not being that smart. I don't know how I got obsessed with Harvard, but I did. There was just something that I liked about Harvard. This is the mini James Charles palette. I'm going to use some of the pinks in it. With regards to what I want to actually study and do in college, there's like 2 ways I could go about this. First, I'm going to talk about what my dream job and my dream career would be, and then I'll talk about what I actually plan on doing. My dream career consists mainly of like anything artsy. I'm a theater kid, so I would love to be an actress, a singer, songwriter, music producer. I make just a lot of random techno kind of music in my spare time. Also, like makeup artist would kind of be fun. Opening up like a bakery or something would be really fun as well. Now I'm opening up another palette, dear goodness. BH Cosmetics. Modern Neutrals is what it's called. But what I actually plan on going into is double majoring in pre-med and Spanish. Pre-med because I would like to end up being something along the lines of a physical therapist, and Spanish because I absolutely love the Spanish language and culture. It's amazing. I would love to be fluent. Okay, you know what? This is just kind of bad, so we're gonna skip to the next eye. I don't know what I'm doing. There's something different about each eye, and I don't know what it is. But there's something wrong here. Now I'm just opening up another BH Cosmetics palette called Wild Child. Personally, I don't really like putting shadow under my eyes, but I do it anyway because it looks weird if I don't. Okay, so now I'm going to wipe my bake off and I'm going to answer another question. The next question was actually really interesting. Would you rather be mute for the rest of your life or deaf for the rest of your life? And my answer would be I'd rather be mute because music is my life. If I don't have music, if I can't listen to music, I'm done. No. So now I'm just gonna contour my face. face using a Smashbox palette, and then I will use a Tarte blush. I put way too much bronzer. This looks really bad on camera, but I promise you it doesn't look that bad. Oh gosh, this is horrible. Oh my gosh, my contours actually, it's not that bad. I think I had one more question that was like a good question that I could answer. Oh gosh. I can answer two more questions, two more brief questions. The first one is, if you had to marry someone you know right now or be single for the rest of your life, what would you pick and who would you marry? Okay, so here's the thing. I'm single currently, so I don't have anyone I'd really like to marry. But if I had to choose right now, I would say, I mean, I'd rather be married. I would so much rather be married than be single for the entire rest of my life. No. But who? I have no idea. There's some great celebrities out there I would love to, come into contact with. Cole Sprouse, Tom Holland, Nick Jonas, Kyle Harris, but unfortunately, some of those people are already married, so that would not be good, would it? I don't really know anyone right now too well enough that I would marry them anyway, you know what I mean? So I would say marry instead of being single, but I don't know who I would marry. Text tone. You guys like my text tone? It's me saying text tone. Isn't that great? I'm gonna turn that off. For my last question, while I'm doing highlighter and mascara, I'm going to combine two questions, and I could answer these briefly, or I could give a really long answer, and to be honest, I'm just gonna give the brief answer. So I'm just going to be using a palette from Revolution Makeup for my highlighter. Looks like this. Just so you know. How young would you be willing to date? And the other one was, what are you looking for in a partner? I've been in a lot of relationships, and I just kind of know now what I like and what I don't like. I want someone who is not clingy, but someone who doesn't completely ignore the heck out of me. That would be nice. Someone who's willing to just be weird with me and just do random weird things. Someone who respects me and my time. Someone who has good morals and is preferably a Christian. I know. I'm that type of person. I don't care about your judgments. Urban Decay all-nighter setting spray. So that's my brief answer. I could go on and on about my ideal guy, but answering that last one, how young would you be willing to date? I would be willing to go as much as a year younger than me, depending on the maturity level of the boy. And I would be willing to go upwards of 2 years older, just because I prefer guys that are a little more mature. So 2 years older, I feel like would be a good maturity level. I think that is about it with regards to all these questions, guys. And this is Tarte mascara called Lights Camera Lashes. The eyelash curler as well was a Tarte eyelash curler. So yeah, I think that's all the questions I'm going to answer in this video. It's gotten to be a pretty long video now, so that's going to be so much fun to edit, right? So if you want me to do another Q&A in the future, that would be totally okay with me. Just put maybe your questions in the comment section, and if I get enough, then I'll do another Q&A. Go ahead and subscribe and like the video. I think I did a decent job. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Have a great rest of your week, your year, your life, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye, my pretties.